This morning, the fluoride debate in DeForest continues. Find out what community members and board members have to say. Plus, a recusal in the state Supreme Court. Who will sit out the case involving Act 10 and who else is also being asked to step aside. Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now This Morning. I'm Kyrie Lee. Let's start the morning off by taking a live look at the Beltline at Seminole Highway. Let's take a look. Let's see how traffic's moving. Looks like traffic's moving a little more steady, but still a lot slower than that speed limit, it looks like. I know I was going a bit under the speed limit because I could hardly see ahead of me, but from what meteorologist Savannah Brito is saying, the conditions have improved slightly, would you say, Savannah?
Yeah, definitely a little bit more of an improvement, specifically in Dane County. Areas north have not been dealing with any of that fog, but in Madison we were. Not necessarily the case. There's still a little bit of patchy light fog according to the map that I'm showing right here and that traffic camera we just showed, but definitely more fog across Monroe and areas like Janesville off towards the lake. Those places are dealing with some pretty dense fog still. Waukesha down to a mile, Milwaukee down to a quarter of a mile. Those areas, including Dane County right now, still included in this dense fog advisory. They actually just dropped that, and no one in our DMA immediate forecast area for southern Wisconsin, the Madison area, is included in this. Now mainly across northern Illinois, and according to this map I just had, those visibilities definitely lower across those areas. But Kyrian, people still want to allow probably a little bit of extra time.
Yes, I know I needed a little bit of extra time, so just take it easy out there if you can't see too far ahead of you. Yes. Savannah, thank you. Let's begin this morning with an update out of the village of DeForest. The village board held a second public listening session to discuss whether or not they will continue adding fluoride to drinking water. Both the CDC and Wisconsin Department of Health Services back its use in drinking water. The mineral has been shown to reduce tooth decay, but some board members are citing an opinion piece by the Washington Post and a ruling by a California judge against the EPA that says keeping fluoride in the water is not safe.
We should have the choice to drink pure, clean water and then to supplement if necessary.
This isn't a hard decision. The fluoridation of water is one of the top 10 public health breakthroughs of the 20th century.
Board members say that the village can save money by not having to buy fluoride or replace aging equipment needed to add the mineral. Last month, the village's Public Services Committee voted in favor of removal. Now to the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Conservative Justice Brian Hagedorn says he is recusing himself from the landmark Act 10 case. The court is expected to hear that case later this year. That case will decide the future of the 2011 law, which eliminated many collective bargaining rights from the public sector unions in Wisconsin. The law has been seen as a major achievement of former Republican Governor Scott Walker. During that time, Hagedorn was Walker's chief legal counsel, and he also helped defend the law in court. This recusal gives liberals a 4-2 majority on the case. Republican lawmakers are now calling on liberal Justice Janet Protasewicz to recuse herself on the case, too. Happening tomorrow, the Democratic National Committee will vote on its next party chair. It's the culmination of the DNC's 3-day winter meetings. So Wisconsin Democratic Party Chair Ben Wickler is among the frontrunners, as well as his Minnesota counterpart, Ken Martin. The party will also vote on other key officers within the organization. The DNC says it will stream the vote on its YouTube page. The Madison Metropolitan School District is in the process of updating mascot logos for its 4 largest public high schools, and it has some community members wondering why. The district is working with BSN Sports and Varsity Brands to redesign the logos. District leaders say they're updating the logos after the 4 high schools were renovated as part of the 2020 referendum. You can vote on 3 redesign options for each school online, but the original logos are not included.
And nothing's going to replace existing pieces.
For a lot of people, I've been hearing from so many people about this that are really kind of outraged.
The online feedback surveys for the mascot options will be open until Monday. To higher education now, UW-Madison officials say they're pausing some spending. This comes after President Donald Trump's initial memo, which put a pause on federal spending grants. Trump has since pulled back that order, but a message from the university says there are still concerns over what could happen next. Officials say the university won't commit to new obligations or job offers on existing federal awards. They will limit discretionary non-personnel commitments on federal funds and coordinate with federal agencies related to stop work orders and delays on payments. The recent high winds around Wisconsin are creating what's known as ice shelves on some lakes. Take a look at this video here from Schwano Lake. As temperatures rise, ice expands, and when they drop, it contracts. This causes cracks to form. When strong winds come into play, they shove sheets of ice towards the shore. While the conditions for ice shoves have been perfect, it can also be very dangerous. Ice shanties that are not properly strapped down can be sent flying, putting those out on the ice in harm's way. So take a look at that video there. Just crazy to see, but of course with those temperatures warming up, this is not surprising.
No, I know, and you know, all the ponds and bodies of water that I've seen not completely frozen over anymore. It's very dangerous because you never know how thick that ice is. So,
yeah.
I mean, definitely avoid it, especially those younger kids. I see some of them going on that ice and I get super scared.
Hopefully there's an adult nearby.
Yeah,
so
I
yes,
hope so.
Just keep a watch out, and even if you're an adult, just be careful out there because like officials have told us previously, no ice is 100% safe.
Exactly, and last week we were dealing with those freezing cold temperatures, but we hit almost 60 yesterday.
Ooh, are we gonna keep the momentum?
No, unfortunately not. We're still going to be above average, luckily, but yeah, definitely no more 60s or near it in the forecast. We'll show that coming up.
Oh, well, in your morning sports, find out which Milwaukee Buck is headed to the NBA All-Star Game. We're back right after this.
Also ahead, we need help filling the bins here at Babies and Beyond of Wisconsin. I'm Josh Breiter with how you can support the News 3 Now Community Baby Shower. Coming up next in the 608.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
We're back in the 608. It's the final day of our News 3 Now Community Baby Shower. Josh Breiter is live in Madison with where donations stand right now and how you can still help. Josh, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Kyron. We're at Babies and Beyond of Wisconsin off of Stoughton Road. And like you mentioned, this is our final day. We still need help supporting families here across the 608. Just take a look at this bin right here. It is empty at this hour. That's how quickly these donations are coming and going. Brenda Collins is the executive director here of Babies and Beyond. Brenda, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks so much for coming out.
Yes, yeah, good to be here. So this has been a big week for you guys, but as those donations are coming in, obviously we're still seeing that need because they're going right off the shelves right away.
Yeah. So just as quickly as they're coming in, they're going out the door. So we're still open and we're still serving people. So just as quickly as they're coming in, they're going out the door.
So important to note, we're at the back of the store. This is where these donations can be dropped off for folks. And then you go ahead and sort them, start putting them on shelves. And, you know, some of these shelves look full, but then there's other bins that are sitting here empty.
Yeah, so we sort by size and season, and we store for the opposite season. So we've got lots of summer that's ready to go, but we still have a lot of winter months left. So we're trying to help families for those winter months that are still left. And we need to help families get through those last couple of months of winter.
You know, when you look at just the donations in here, for example, you have this diaper wall. This looks like a lot of diapers, but how many diapers, how long does this last right here?
Yeah, so this is about a week's worth of diapers when it's completely full. We're going through about 58,000 diapers each and every week.
58,000?
Yeah, 58,000.
Wow.
And that's just families that are coming directly to our center. So we can only keep up with the need of families that come directly to us. And we need those bigger sizes, the 6s, the 7s, the pull-ups. That's what children are in the longest. So children can be in those for up to a year, maybe 2 years. So we need those the most.
And of course, you know, we're doing this drive for a week, but you guys are here 365 days out of the year, and this need doesn't go away.
No, absolutely not. So 1 in 2 families struggle with diaper need. And so we're here to fill in the gap for families, and babies are being born each and every day. So we see new families coming to us every day. And so So we're welcoming families every day, and we're here to help families.
So if people are interested and can help out, today's the final day. What do they need to know as far as bringing those donations in?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different ways that families can help out. So if you have those gently used items already at your house, that's a great way to pass them on to another family. You can drop those off directly at our center, or we have an Amazon wish list that you can shop right from your home.
Makes it easy.
Absolutely. So there's a couple different ways that you can get involved.
All right, Brenda, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to help us out, we have everything you need to know up on channel3000.com. Again, some of those more necessity items, but they're looking for donations all the time, Kyrian. So this is our time to help out. Again, the community baby shower ends today, but they're here 365 days out of the year.
Yes, I was going to say those donations are needed beyond this week, but we just want to make this week big. So if you have those donations, just bring them in. Josh, thank you. You got it. Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out on social media or email us at inthe608@WISC-TV.com for a chance to be featured. A new study by UW School of Medicine and Public Health could help doctors in the fight against the opioid crisis across the country. Between 2014 and 2018, opioid overdose deaths within the state rose by 46%, according to a report by the Wisconsin DHS. While most deaths come from drugs obtained illegally, initial exposure could occur through a prescription for pain medication. Researchers with UW found that pairing CDC guidelines and de-implementing certain primary care strategies led to a 6% decrease in daily opioid doses, reducing the amount of opioids prescribed.
The evidence, I think, is showing that it might be time to turn the page to these more, kind of process-oriented and paternalistic approaches to more patient-centered approaches that really pay attention to the whole person and how pain is interfering with life and how we can improve quality of life and so forth.
While the study's findings are promising, researchers are acknowledging that helping people effectively manage chronic pain is a problem that needs more work. Applications are now open for the City of Madison's 2025 Arts Grants. There are 3 types of grants that artists can apply for. The first are project grants, which provide up to $5,000 for education programs, exhibits, and performances. Legacy grants are up to $1,500 and support organizations that have received Madison Arts Commission funding for 3 out of the last 6 years. And individual fellowships artists can get up to $2,000 to advance their practice. Applications are due by March 1st. Let's check in now with meteorologist Savannah Brito. How's it looking out there now?
Well, Kyrian, visibilities definitely have improved. Dane County in the Madison area was down to 1/4 of a mile. Now you can see the contour completely removed. We're up to 10 miles. Monroe and Janesville even up to 5 miles. Both of those areas were seeing dense fog as well. There was a dense fog advisory for Dane County and areas southward that was removed. Still in effect for Kenosha, Milwaukee, those areas well to our east. Some patchy fog still possible through the next couple of hours. All of that going to move out of here, and then we'll be dealing with some afternoon sun. Highs definitely a lot cooler than the 57 we reached yesterday. That shattered our previous record that was 47 set back in 1974 by 10 degrees, but we'll only be down to 41 this afternoon, our average 27. All the rain across northern Illinois right now and southern Iowa could lead to a few stray showers, areas of mist or patchy drizzle. Areas like Janesville and Monroe might see that, but I don't think we'll quite see that in Madison, definitely not for areas northward. That system moves out of here, our winds shift back out of the south, and another system moves in. This will be a quick moving system that moves in from the northwest as early as Saturday evening and then early Sunday morning. This is 1 a.m. I still think the better chances of accumulating snow and greatest impacts are going to be northward across northern and central Wisconsin, the UP, but we still could see some lighter snow showers here, about under ½ an inch or around an inch expected at the most for the Madison area. Could mix in with some freezing rain, sleet, and regular rain depending on temperature. But right now thinking we'll be right near freezing level or maybe even down to 31 degrees. That would be our really next great chance of precipitation. Temperatures really warm back up. Could make a run for record warmth again on Sunday afternoon if we do see those clouds clear out. 49 is the set high, and then temperatures fall after that closer to what's normal.
Early this season has Wisconsin women's hockey not swept their opponent. It's just happened 3 times this year, including last weekend when they won Game 1 against St. Cloud State and then closed out their series with a tie. Now, they did win the shootout for the extra point, but for the Badgers, it still kind of feels like a loss. And this group has plans on bouncing back in a big way in Duluth.
We've gone through some bumps, but I think it's about how we react to it, and we've come together because we've seen that once we come together, we're a pretty good team. So, you know, there's no reason not to come together. And so on and off the ice, I think it's really helped us. And as we continue to come across, any adversity, we'll be able to handle it and most likely come out on top.
Through 20 games last season, Wisconsin was 16-4 and then hit that late season slide, closing out the regular season, losing 8 of 11. Through 20 games this season, the Badgers were 16-4. And then they started the back half of the regular season with a road loss at Maryland. Will history repeat itself? Probably not. And Greg Gard is not interested in any of it.
Play the next game. I don't worry about other years, Mike. You've been around me long enough to on to the next game. We got to get ready for Northwestern, and they're going to be a handful. So it's making sure we keep getting better.
High school boys hoops, Lake Mills hosting crosstown rival Lakeside Lutheran in a huge game in the Capital Conference. And the Elcats were playing some tough D. Brady Benish comes up with the steal and then pulls up from deep to put the home team up 3. Warriors trying to cut into that lead. Logan Strom working hard down low. He spins and wins for 2, but Lake Mills has a guy by the name of A.J. Bender, and that dude is a bucket. Bender puts his defender in a blender for 3 the old-fashioned way as Lake Mills takes it 60-48. And the Bucks, they were off last night, but Damian Lillard received some good news. For the 9th time in his career, Dame Time has been named an NBA All-Star. The Bucks guard will join teammate Giannis on the big stage in a couple of weeks and look to go back-to-back as the MVP of the All-Star game. Lillard is averaging 25 points and 7 assists this season for the Deer. And that's it for Morning Sports. Have a great day.
Still ahead, we're talking about the Fire Aid benefit concert. And coming up in our next half hour, find out how new federal policies around climate initiatives could affect you. But before we head to break, here's a look at gas prices. Time now, 6:20. We'll be right back.
Well, good morning and welcome back. This photo's from Jay. Look at the water there and all the clouds. This is such a good winter picture.
Yeah, this is nice. Shows the bare bone trees.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yes, the bare bone trees, yeah.
Not a leaf in sight.
No.
Can't wait for spring.
Yeah, I am so looking forward to spring, but for right now, I guess I'll hold on to winter.
Yeah. Thank you for sending that in, Jay. Continuing to send those in. #MyNews3Morning.
Let's take a look at what's trending this morning. The entertainment industry is coming together to help people in Southern California recover from the recent wildfires. Last night was the Fire Aid benefit concert in Los Angeles. They used 2 different locations, the Intuit Dome and the Kia Forum. They're raising money for relief efforts from the fires. A number of famous singers and groups performed. Here you're seeing Lady Gaga, then you have Billie Eilish and Earth, Wind & Fire. But there were plenty of others, including Olivia Rodrigo, Rod Stewart, John Fogerty, Joni Mitchell, and Stevie Nicks.
Wow.
So all coming together to support, these wildfire victims, because this has been a trying time in LA. So
I love to see everyone coming together, especially all those people like Billie Eilish. I mean, we all hear their names, so the fact that they're doing this for a good cause is awesome.
yes, hopefully they were able to raise quite a bit of funds for people. Today is National Hot Chocolate Day, and there's a hashtag on social media that you can use. Hashtag National Hot Chocolate Day, of course. I know some people use water with the packet. Some people like to use the milk. You said you like the milk when you do drink it, but you're a coffee over hot chocolate person.
I'll almost add milk to anything. I like milk with coffee, milk with hot chocolate's definitely better. I don't know, I guess Is it Ghirardelli? I always pronounce it
I know,
wrong.
I don't know. I said Gira, same thing.
I don't know. That one's the best one.
Yes, it is. It is. Because their chocolate's just like
so good.
creamy and smooth. I
Yeah.
forget. I had one, yeah.
And is this
good.
the entire week is eat ice cream for breakfast day or something like that?
That's tomorrow, yeah.
Okay.
So you
Maybe
just
eat
mix
ice cream for breakfast?
No, probably not. But you mix that with your hot chocolate and you might have you a combo
Hot
that
chocolate
might.
float? No?
Mm,
That's kind of what it would be, right?
yeah, but I don't know if that.
I don't know if
I don't know if I
sounds
like
really
ice cream
good.
and hot chocolate. That might not be bad though.
It's like milk. I guess
Exactly.
depending on the flavor. If it's like vanilla.
Okay, yeah, if it's vanilla, then it might be fine. Or
chocolate.
even cookies and cream. Okay,
Yeah.
you might be up to something
Cookie
there.
dough? I don't know.
I don't know. You might be onto something
We'll
there.
have to try that at some point.
Yes, we will. Is it a good day for hot chocolate?
Yeah, I mean, the overnight lows are going to cool down a little bit, but we're definitely not tracking as warm of weather like yesterday. 57. We broke our previous record. We'll be down to 41 today. That's still mild, though. We'll talk about the precipitation chances over the weekend coming up.
This morning, an investigation continues following a mid-air crash over the Potomac River. The evidence officials have and what comes next. Plus, keeping students safe at school, a look at what some school districts and safety officials are doing to prevent another tragedy in Wisconsin. Happy Friday morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Kyrian Lee. If you're headed out this door this morning, you might need to allow an extra few minutes because we are dealing with some fog. Let's take a live look now at the Beltline at Seminole Highway. Looks like traffic, obviously. We're starting to see some of that morning commute traffic building up, and speeds have been slightly slower than normal, it looks like. I know I was taking it a lot slower this morning because I could hardly see what was in front of me this morning. Savannah, what about you?
Yeah, definitely was a very foggy start to our day. We had several areas reporting dense fog, but that's luckily not necessarily the case anymore. Some very light patchy fog if you're traveling eastward towards Waukesha, Milwaukee. Those areas definitely still dealing with dense fog, but they removed the National Weather Service, the dense fog advisory for Dane County, so we're not dealing with that anymore. I definitely had to allow extra time, and it took me longer to get into work, but most people aside of the traffic we're seeing should not be dealing with any weather conditions that should make things a little bit trickier. Today, 41 will still be breezy. Later this afternoon, those winds are expected to pick up. Sunday, we could be talking about another day with near record warmth. We'll have those details and talk about precipitation chances coming up, Kyrian.
Savannah, thank you. To our top story this morning, we begin with the Village of DeForest holding a second listening session over whether or not they will continue adding fluoride to drinking water. Both the CDC and Wisconsin Department of Health Services back its use in drinking water. The mineral has been shown to reduce tooth decay, but some board members are citing an opinion piece by the Washington Post and a ruling by a California judge against the EPA, which says keeping fluoride in the water is not safe.
We should have the choice to drink pure, clean water and then to supplement if necessary.
This isn't a hard decision. The fluoridation of water is one of the top 10 public health breakthroughs of the 20th century.
Board members say that the village can save money by not having to buy fluoride or replace aging equipment needed to add the mineral. Last month, the village's Public Services Committee voted in favor of removal. Now to the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Conservative Justice Brian Hagedorn says he is recusing himself from the Landmark Act 10 case. The court is expected to hear the case later this year. That case will decide the future of the 2011 law, which eliminated many collective bargaining rights from public sector unions in Wisconsin. The law has been seen as a major achievement of former Republican Governor Scott Walker. During that time, Hagedorn was Walker's chief legal counsel, and he also helped defend the law in court. This recusal gives liberals a 4-2 majority on the case. Republican lawmakers are now calling on another liberal justice, Janet Protasiewicz, to recuse herself on the case, too. The Madison community continues to grieve after the deadly shooting at Abundant Life Christian School. Meanwhile, News 3 Now is looking to answer questions about the state of safety in our schools. In a special report, our Maddie Heimsch walks us through the hallways, taking a look at what local schools are doing to keep staff and students safe.
Got a call coming in at Abundant Life Christian Church for a shooter, just advising someone was shot.
Copy. Let's make this an active shooter incident.
3 words no educator wants to hear.
We all do prepare for it.
But rings in their minds from the first bell to the last.
Nothing you do to prepare will make sure that it will never happen to you.
And the front entrance to the back.
No one can ever guarantee 100% safety.
Administrators tell me they work each day to prevent active shooter incidents. Gina Aguglia is the director of critical response at the Madison Metropolitan School District.
Having a camera system, having access control, locks on the doors, badges to get in and out of certain locations and spaces.
Dan Kieser, district administrator for the Stoughton Area School District.
We have secured entrances in all of our buildings. All of our volunteers go through background checks.
Paul Gessner is the Edgewood Campus School President.
We train our teachers for active shooter scenarios.
And Trish Kilpin, director of the Office of School Safety.
We make sure that they complete the legislatively required items that they have to do to show that they're training and planning.
Those legislatively required items: a map of the school, a copy of the school safety plan, the date of their annual violence drill, proof of the most recent staff training, and proof of a site assessment with law enforcement. But safety plans and procedures haven't always occupied the halls.
It is all spelled out now in a way that I don't know was as detailed 20 years ago.
School safety has really come from fire and tornado drills to fire tornado drills. What do you do when you see a suspicious person, and if there is a safety threat? How do you lock and secure, or how do you flee?
When violence prevention was just starting to make its way into schools following Columbine, the first building blocks were physical.
We started by thinking about how do you harden the exterior so that unwanted threats can't make it into the building.
But today, with almost 1,000 K-12 school shootings reported in the last 3 years,
most students are thinking about school safety and thinking about potential school shootings regularly. They're walking into a classroom and thinking about what their first step would be if an emergency arose.
Educators say they're working to balance the equation of students being safe and feeling safe.
Making sure that people aren't feeling like they're in a space that's not welcoming and not inclusive.
Not make school feel like a fortress.
Embedding social emotional work and mental health practices into lesson plans.
We realize it's about how do we work with our students in order to ensure that they all feel seen and heard.
We really focus a lot on relationship building and really ensuring that there's a strong climate and culture of welcoming practices in each of our buildings.
Wisconsin also has a statewide reporting system through the Office of School Safety.
Then we're able to accurately assess that and create a plan that keeps that school safe and gets that child the help that they need.
In hopes of hearing less of those 3 words.
Let's make this an active shooter incident.
And seeing more future graduates.
It makes it hard to teach them when they're worried about survival.
Reporting in Madison, Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
In an update related to the shooting, one student who was injured is now out of the hospital. A UW health spokesperson says that student is now recovering at home. Another student is still in the hospital, but in good condition. Now to the latest from our nation's capital. Here's a live look at Reagan National Airport this morning. It's back in operation after the deadly plane and helicopter crash late Wednesday night. Officials say all 67 people on board both the plane and helicopter have died. Dive recovery efforts are expected to continue today. Investigators are also hoping to collect more evidence. The National Transportation Safety Board says it has the plane's 2 black boxes.
We want to make sure we get it right. We take our time. We involve a lot of people, a lot of parties. That's the best way to make sure that we don't let tragedies like this happen again.
As part of any investigation, we look at the human, the machine, and the environment.
Initial investigations found the crash happened about 400 feet off ground level. Military helicopters are supposed to stay below 200 feet. This is in the first major commercial plane crash in the U.S. in around 16 years. 6:37 now, just days into his second term, President Donald Trump's administration is already reversing many climate efforts from the Biden administration. For example, declaring a national energy emergency and withdrawing from the Paris Climate Accords. Dane County's Director of Energy and Climate Change says there's no need to panic just yet. All previously signed climate grant agreements still stand, and the county is still planning on supporting projects.
All of the tax credits, all of the signed grant agreements are all still in force. There may be a moment where Congress makes some changes to the tax credits, but they're not going to make them retroactively. They're not going to say, you can't anymore claim this thing you did in 2024. That's not how the tax code works.
If you're interested in adding clean energy projects to your home, you can go to DaneClimateAction.org. Under the Act Now tab, you can enter your household size and annual income to see what state and federal programs you are eligible for. Let's check in now with Savannah. What's coming up?
Kyrie, on some rain across northern Illinois. Not here, though. We'll talk about our next best chance coming up.
And it's the final day of our News 3 Now community baby shower. We still need donations, which means we need your help. We're going to explain just how much of a need there is here in the 608 when News 3 Now this morning continues.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning, moving forward.
Hi, I'm Mark from Grand Marsh. Savannah, plan my day.
Well, if you're like Mark from Grand Marsh, not really going to be seeing any fog or rain for that matter. That's more so even south of the Madison area like Janesville and Monroe. Temperatures up there, though, going to be a little bit cooler this afternoon than here. Should make it to near 40 degrees, and then us lower 40s for the Madison area. Yesterday was beautiful. We hit 57 degrees. Our average high is 27. That was 30 degrees above average. We even broke our previous record of 47. That was yesterday's date. The previous record set back in 1974. We set a new record yesterday by 10 degrees. Boscobel and Prairie du Chien even hit 60 and 61 degrees. Showers across northern Illinois, like I mentioned, that's really the case for moderate to heavy showers. Widespread rain is going to be. We did see clouds increase as a result of that. Most of the fog, that's areas like Monroe, Janesville, and especially towards Milwaukee, but clouds are still in place. I do think that system moves out of here. Maybe a few areas of mist or patchy light drizzle. Saturday night into Sunday looks to bring our better chance of showers. Likely going to be snow showers, light at best. Central and northern Wisconsin, along with the UP, have a better chance of seeing accumulating snow. For us, we'd likely be looking at less than an inch of snowfall. Temperatures are going to be right about at the cusp of freezing level, 32, but areas like Dubuque, Janesville, Monroe, and then especially across northern Illinois, that would be rain, maybe mixed with sleet at the most, just because temperatures will be warmer. That moves out of here, but this is Sunday, now 7:30 in the morning, still showing a decent amount of cloud cover around with temperatures warming back up into the mid-30s already. We will likely, if we can see those clouds move out of here, reach at least the mid to upper 40s, if not 50, 51 degrees is our record high for that date on Sunday, February 2nd. So we could at least tie that. We'll definitely have at least near record warmth in the forecast. It is Groundhog's Day, though. Will Jimmy see his shadow or not? The sunrise is at 7:11 in the morning. We are expecting mostly cloudy skies, though, so the groundhog Jimmy should not see his shadow, meaning we would see 6 weeks until spring. But if he does see its shadow, sunny skies, that's when you can expect him to see its shadow, which is not expected. That would mean 6 more weeks of winter. So hopefully, at least I'm hoping for an early spring. I know Kyrion is as well. We could see that. We definitely had April-like weather yesterday. The next couple of days are still going to be above average, but we get back to near normal by about next Tuesday with a high of 27. But there's still a lot of fluctuations in the forecast. Chances for snow next week return. I'm just glad we had a 50 yesterday, almost a 60.
Yeah, I mean, that was amazing, beautiful. And I just always, I always got to take the groundhog's prediction with a grain of salt, because I'm not sure what Jimmy's track record is, but I know some other groundhogs.
Yeah,
it's not very good. The percentage is way down there.
Exactly.
So I'll have to look more into this. Obviously we're new here, so we got to figure out what's going on with Jimmy and his predictions.
As a kid growing up, I would always be like, oh, is the groundhog going to see its shadow or not? And I don't know, as far as statistics go, if the groundhog sees its shadow versus doesn't, like how accurate that 6-week spring versus winter is. But we'll have to look into that.
Yeah, because it's always something different or opposite or flipped. So
exactly.
Guess we'll have to wait around and see now.
Yeah.
Well, if you want Savannah to play in your day, she'd love to do so. Just record a video like you saw earlier, share your name and hometown, then send it our way. You can send it via our website, the First Warn Weather app, Facebook Messenger, or email. Then watch around this time every morning to see if you come on the air. We're switching gears now to the 608. It is the final day of our News 3 Now Community Baby Shower. Josh Breider is live in Madison this morning with where donations stand right now and how you can still help. Josh, we need the community, all of them. So where are we at now this morning?
Hey, Kyron, good morning to you. Yeah, we're at Babies and Beyond off of Stoughton Road on Madison's east side this morning. And as you mentioned, this is the final day that we are doing this community baby shower. And this is something that really speaks volumes to just how much of a need there is in our community. Brenda Collins is the executive director here. Brenda, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Yes, yeah, thanks for having us. So we're in the front of Babies and Beyond. So this is what families see that come in, you know, looking for some of that support. And just how much of a need is there here in the Dane County area?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we're serving nearly 1,300 babies each and every month. And this is the front of the store. So we do our best to make sure that this is fully stocked and full of as much as we can so that families have a variety of things to choose from and that it's full when they come in to shop.
And this obviously is ever changing. Every single day you guys are here, families are coming in here, and this is why you have to keep these shelves stocked all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So we want to make sure that these bins are full every single time that we're open. We want the bins full of clothes, we want it full of supplies, we want to make sure that there's enough equipment out here. We want to make sure that families have a variety of things to choose from and yeah, that dignity of choice.
And this is obviously what families see. All the hard work is back here in the back of your donation center where we were a little bit earlier. So talk a little bit about how you guys sort all of the items, because obviously you have different sizes, you have different kinds of things. How does that all work?
Yeah, so as soon as the donations come in, we have volunteers that will sort through everything. We sort through by season, by size, and we store for the opposite season. So we have tons and tons of bins of summer ready to go for summer, but Josh, we have a couple months left of winter.
Yes.
So we want to make sure that families have enough clothes to keep their children warm for those couple of months left of winter. And we need lots of girls' winter clothing. You see a lot of those bins are empty for winter. So we need a lot of girls' winter clothing yet. And of course we need lots of diapers.
Yes, yeah, you have your diaper wall here, which this looks like a lot of diapers, but in reality it isn't, for the need that you guys see.
Yeah, so when this wall is completely full, we're going through this once a week. So we're going through 58,000 diapers every month.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's about 12 pallets of diapers every month. 1 in 2 families are struggling with diaper need, and so they're coming to us to help fill in that gap. We're just barely scratching the surface of that diaper need, but we're here to help fill in that gap for families.
So today is our final day for the community baby shower. You guys are always here. What can people do to help out right now? Obviously you got donations, but you have a few other ways that folks can help too.
Yeah, so you can drop off directly at our center, but if you can't make it to us, we've got that Amazon wish list up on the websites, on your website, on our website, so you can shop right from your home.
Awesome, Brenda. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time here this morning. If you'd like to help out the News 3 Now Community Baby Shower, as Brenda mentioned, we have everything you need to know on channel3000.com, including those specific items, and that ends later today. You drop off your donation items. They make it super easy right here, Kyrian. So now it's our time to do our part and help local families.
Yes, all hands on deck initiative here. Josh, we can do it. We can do it. Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out either on social media or email us at inthe608@WISC-TV.com for a chance to be featured. Coming up in the morning, Sprint, a kitchen product recall to tell you about. But first, let's look who's 3 today. Happy birthday, Chase. Enjoy your day. And if you have a little one turning 3 soon, send in those photos so you can be featured on TV. 6:54, time for the morning sprint. Here's a live look at the Potomac River this morning. That's where cleanup continues after the deadly plane and helicopter crash late Wednesday night. Officials say all 67 people on board both the plane and helicopter have died. Dive recovery efforts are expected to continue today. Investigators are also hoping to collect more evidence. In the Wisconsin Supreme Court, conservative Justice Brian Hagedorn says he is recusing himself from the landmark Act 10 case. The court is expected to hear the case later this year. Hagedorn had previously helped to defend the law in court. Republican lawmakers are now calling on liberal Justice Janet Protasiewicz to recuse herself on the case too. To an update now related to the Abundant Life school shooting. A UW spokesperson says one of the injured students is now recovering at home. Another student is still in the hospital and is in good condition. UW Health says the patient's families continue to ask for privacy. The American Civil Liberties Union of Wisconsin is celebrating a recent move by the Dane County Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office withdrew from the State Criminal Alien Assistance Program, or SCAP. SCAP partially reimburses state and municipal governments for the cost of incarcerating certain undocumented people. UW-Madison officials say they're pausing some spending. This comes after President Donald Trump's initial memo, which put a pause on federal spending grants. Trump has since pulled back that order, but a message from the university says there are still concerns over what could happen next. University officials also say they won't commit to new obligations or job offers on existing federal awards. And Greater Goods is recalling more than 300,000 of its digital kitchen scales. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the product's coin batteries do not meet child resistance regulations. This means children could access and swallow them. Owners of the scales are urged to place them out of reach of children and contact the company for free replacement parts.
Well, temperatures are going to be back down into the lower 40s this afternoon. We will see some clearing take place late today. Another system will move in Saturday into Sunday that could bring us some light snow showers. Sunday, we're expecting near record warmth again. To follow that cooler, we're back to close to normal. 27's our average high, and that's where we'll be heading into the first full week of February on Tuesday. How is it already February?
I know, it seems like January just had somewhere to go, somewhere to get to, had to get out of here quick.
Yeah, I mean, with the cold temperatures, we had plenty of sub-zero temps. I don't blame January.
Yeah.
Good thing it got out of here.
Exactly. I'll take these February's temperatures.
Yes, absolutely.
Savannah, thank you. Stay with us. We'll have another news and weather update in 30 minutes.